All right, so learning about all these sugars in animals and plants. So here we have animals, and we have similarities and differences. But let's look at glucose. When we use glucose, especially this monosaccharide glucose, it's a fuel for cellular respiration. Oh, that's nice handwriting. See if I can keep it up. So in our mitochondria, feeding glucose or fats helps provide ATP energy for your cells to maintain all their needs, their energy needs. And here, this is lactose. It's a disaccharide makeup, the sugar that you have in milk, and glycogen is a polysaccharide. And I can't quite see here, but when your body will take the extra glucose and it'll turn into glycogen stored in your liver. And if you're an athlete, I know the rough estimate is, say, if you go for a run or a bike ride or swim, you got about an hour's worth of glycogen stored up in your liver. After that, you're going to need to supplement it with some other sugar, which an athlete is always a tough thing to learn how to eat while you're exercising and not vomit and not crash, not have enough sugar. You all in your muscles, when you train and get better, more efficient, your muscles start to store some glycogen in them. So you have not just your liver, but also in your muscles, glycogen storage capabilities. So here we have over in plants. Let's see if I can't quite do that though. Anyway, fructose, you've heard of that. It's easy to remember. That's fruits, makes them nice and sweet. I tell my son over here, fruit better than candy. Tastes so sweet, just like candy. Gives you that water, gives you that fiber, gives you those minerals. I really encourage you to snack on fruit. How hard is that? It's sweet. It is tough to obtain. Sometimes fruit's heavy because the water and it can spoil. Anyway, sucrose, disaccharide. And what do I have here? So in the phloem, we'll learn about that later, but phloem is are the vessels in plants that transport sugars like sucrose. You think about maple syrup, that is basically the phloem, the sap that's moving through these vessels from the leaves down through the plant, through the tree. And you can just put a hole in the tree and collect that sugar. And cellulose here, polysaccharide, many saccharides, as you know, and it's a very important component of the cell wall. Okay, it gives that structure and support. All right, so here we have amylopectin. This is a type of starch. Right here, this is glycogen. And over here is cellulose. So you see the branching. Starch is fairly branched. Glycogen is even more branched. Cellulose forms these kind of rigid sheets. And here's some more kind of diagrams of that right here. So you have branches. You have more branches. And then you have these solid sheets pretty much for cellulose. So, do that here, basically kind of draw your own version of what you saw before. Starch, maybe you'll spend a little more time and do a better job, but I'm just going to draw the chain. We got some branching. Maybe there's a branch here. And that's about it. Glycogen, draw a bunch of branches, and then draw more branching in between them, and then more branches. Oh, the branches. then starch, kind of draw, and then you have, bonds in between. That's pretty good. So go ahead, use these to fill out your, I think you have this study guide, pause it here, fill those out. Just pause the video. Oh, here we go. So this is interesting. So this is the amount of intake you have from percentage wise from different fats, and then changes in mortality. Here's more death up here, and here's less death. Obviously, if you're looking at diet, you're trying to be in this area, less death. And if we look at our different fats, they're not all equal, right? Up here, causing the most correlation with death would be trans fats. And that's why they're banned. That's why you see people, restaurants, not able to put trans fats in the food, and why you see on labels a trans fat free. Slightly less risky are saturated fats, like butter, show us a weak positive correlation. I would caution that, in moderation, these are not problematic. You do see trans, a big effect here. But then you over here, helping to lower risk of death, you have monounsaturated fats. And these are ones with double bonds. Okay, so one double bond. Are these monounsaturated? Things like avocado. I think those are almonds. I can, some kind of seed. I'm trying to, and that looks like olive oil is trying to be, I can't see because of the video back here until I move it later. But I think I tried saying that sunflower oil. And things like salmon, things like other nuts, walnuts, I think is what. These are you have polyunsaturated. Polyunsaturated fats. Sorry about the handwriting. Polyunsaturated fats, showing the most reduction in death rates. So just, a lot of these dietary studies can be tricky. So it's very tough to do really good human research on diet and mortality, because humans are so terrible at following directions from doctors and not lying on surveys, and it's very tough to determine the effects of diets on mortality. So this does come from the Journal of the American Medical Association. So it can be looked at as fairly reasonably accurate. So to summarize, trans fats show the highest correlation with mortality, and they show saturated show a slight positive correlation. Unsaturated is better. Anything here that's going to get you healthier, less mortality is important. But when it comes to diet in general, make sure you eat balanced. Monitor all total calories you take in. You can't overdo any one thing. Even if it's fish, you shouldn't just eat salmon all day, even though you say, hey, it'll help me survive. It's not going to give you all the nutrients you need. So eat a balanced diet, people. And don't eat too much fast food. Oh my gosh. Chill on the fast food. I know it's tough, but you just have to stay away from that as much as you can. Cook your own food. So go ahead and pause this so you can fill that in. Good information about diets and health. Yeah, like I said, notoriously difficult to test on. You can't control me. I do my own thing. So large sample sizes are really important over long periods of time. So here I have a video. I hope it'll play when this comes out, but you want to check that link and go through those exercises. So you want to click on that link, and it'll take you to this website, and you'll want to check out some of these cool visualization things. I think I had you look at monosaccharides, so glucose, and let's see, the color of the different molecules, I think is the question. So um, you have the carbons here, they're black in the middle, and the oxygens are red, and the hydrogens are white. And it's just a cool way to see. I think, oh yeah, I had it selected. You can click on these different, let's see this, let's just do, ooh, we'll get rid of that. Showing the different parts of the molecule. You see the 5 carbons here in the ring, which gives it with the oxygen 6 pieces. So you got hexagon, and then this carbon off on the side, and then oxygens, and then hydrogens. And then you can go back and have you look at, you can click on disaccharides. I think the question was, yeah, click on sucrose. This is sucrose. It shows you nice color coded. This is the glucose ring. This is the fructose. And the question is, what is the difference between the two sugars? So if you spin them around, what you should notice is the ring. So the glucose, you have this 6-sided ring. And the fructose has this 5-sided ring. And you can check out more disaccharides if you want. We got maltose, cellobiose. Oh, pretty sweet. I love spinning these things around. It's just kind of cool. Even if I don't understand what it is, it's kind of cool to check it out. And the last thing I want you to do is, I think it's polysaccharide. And amylose is what's called for. I think I asked how many these are all glucose molecules. How many are spun around? And you can kind of tell that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how you can accomplish that part. All right, hopefully that didn't mess up the recording. So here we go. So 75 kilograms, so it's right here. And we want to draw straight to 145. It shall be there. That's pretty straight. So we got to look. Here's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 34. 34 BMI. So then on page 81, there's a chart. I got my book right here. Yeah. 81 or 34 would be obese. So the body mass status would be obese. You want to be under 29. Well, under 24, under 25 really would be normal weight. So then we got to look at if they weigh 100 kilograms, which is here, and they're 1.8 meters tall. So that'd be right here. That'd be around 20, which would be normal weight. And if a person has a height of 160 centimeters, which is right here, and a BMI of 38, whoa, 38, okay, pretty big, which is right here. Just going to put it about 112, okay, so for them to get to normal, which would be 25, I said, right? 25. So they're not going to change height. So we want to kind of go through 25. We'll call that 75. So 112, and 75. So you got 25 to 100, 135 to 110, so 37, about 37 kilograms. Which is a lot. That's like 70, 80 pounds they'll have to lose to get a normal BMI.